Okay, on Data East Tales from the Crypt, I'm going to start with the shooter lane. Just place the snake in there, and gently in and out. Now there's a ball gate right here. So this kind of ball gate doesn't play well with PinSnake. So you want to kind of lift it up a little bit with your finger and just hold it, and you're good to go. For the in lanes, I'm just going to start from the bottom here. Bend this guy right here. Just force him in. When I use the word force, I don't mean force like hard. I mean like, you just want to kind of just move it in, get it going. And I can do the same thing from this side by coming from the top here. And I like to seesaw the in lanes. For the out lanes, since there's a nice curve to it, I'm just going to force it. Now there's a hard 45-degree bend right here. You can bend the pieces down, just kind of guide it, but your seesawing is going to be a little bit more limited. And for this out lane, I'm going to go in from the bottom here, just kind of nudge it up. Flipper for a second, start from here, just kind of guide the head a little bit. There we go. And there's a post here as well, so you want to kind of get it around that post. Just enough to, and I can manipulate it since I still have access to the snake, so I can get in there. Just make sure it's making contact with the playfield, and just move it back out. Tales from the Crypt also has pretty much the main orbit that goes around the whole back here. It has this corkscrew ramp that goes up top. It's metal. It's a metal ramp that turns into a habit trail that comes all the way down here. There's also this U-shaped horseshoe right here. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then there's the pop bumpers in the back, and you have the scoop down here, and there's a saucer back there for the lock. So we start with the far right orbit. Now there's a spinner here, so when you're doing spinners, it has a pretty much easy time with spinners, but if you try and go sometimes halfway, you may lock onto your spinner, may like wedge itself on the snake. So you just want to like either hold the spinner or just go all the way through and all the way back. Allow the spinner to reset to its full position, so that way it'll go back and forth. You can see there on the bottom of your screen. There's also a gate at the top here, near the head. It's a one-way gate, so you don't want to really go too far past it. If you ever lock your snake in the orbit or something like that with gates and spinners, you can always just hold the spinner open with your finger and guide it out. There's also a little piece right here, kind of locks into a hole, so you just, there's not much to go, you just get enough to get in there and just kind of give it a little cleansing. Your left orbit, kind of the same deal. There's a spinner on this side as well. I like to straighten out the snake before I go into another orbit. And you can see it pokes out right there in the back. Right through the habit trail, it's hard to see that. And get all the way to the top of the pop bumpers there. If you want to go even further, you can just push the stick through and grab it from behind. And now lift up the stick and I have access to it there. Just got it right back out. There we go. The corkscrew ramp goes up at a little bit of an angle. I'm just going to guide it up here. Clean this part first. I'm not going to try and clean the whole thing from the bottom. I'm going to clean it in segments, because you can get locked on that gate there. But at the top here, you can kind of just rest it in here. And just slowly guide it through. Now most of this habit trail is covered, so it's a little harder to clean. I would just go in there with a rag and just clean each post individually as opposed to trying to shove the PinSnake through it. Now, PinSnake does not go up and down, it only goes left and right, but if I turn it to its side, you still have fabric on the side of the snake to kind of guide through and clean that horseshoe right there. So it's poking out on top there. Just very gently. There's the gate there. You want to make sure the gate's not going to lock on you. Just give it a little nudge. There you go. And lastly, I'll just give the pop bumpers a little right down here. And kind of manipulating the snake back and forth around the pop bumpers. And even horseshoe it a little bit like this. Just kind of guide. Push it in. And there's a little section here where there's a bumper right behind this Crypt keeper, so just kind of get in there. There we go.